A quick reaction to Almeria versus Real Madrid post-match analysis.
A very comfortable victory for Real Madrid against Almeria. 6 points out of a possible 6.
So I would say it was comfortable in second half. In first half, it wasn't comfortable. In first half, Almeria was creating chance equally on par with Real Madrid. In fact, a lot of times they looked dangerous and they scored the first goal. Being said that, it's another 3 huge points for Real Madrid. Yes, I understand it's Almeria. It's not the biggest opponent you can face in La Liga. However, 3 points is 3 points.
Arribas with a header here to make it 1-0.
Yeah, this is a little bit too easy here to get down the left-hand channel. There was 2, maybe 3 Real Madrid defenders, lack of communication. Fran Garcia out of possession, Toni Kroos can't get back in. So that was a defensive aspect. From Almeria, it was really good attacking play, good cross, good header. Lunin, the goalkeeper, they're looking at the goalie going, oh, he should have saved that.
Oh, we should have bought Kepa.
So for Almeria's goal, it happened out of the run. You can blame a lot of players for that goal. For example, Kroos did not mark Arribas properly. At the same time, I also have to blame on Lunin. In my opinion, a goalkeeper for Real Madrid should save this goal. For Bellingham's second goal, what a perfect pass from Toni Kroos and what a run by Bellingham and nice finish. In fact, this is how Real Madrid was trying to play a whole match. They were trying to find those long balls to Bellingham, but somehow they couldn't find. But at this instance, they were successful.
Would get his first goal of the campaign. But still, did it take a deflection?
It
a little one off the... Yeah.
It took a tiny deflection off the calf of the defender. You don't really see it here, but it definitely changes the trajectory of the ball. Nonetheless, it was a good finish and just really killed the game off.
Vinicius' goal is so important for Vinicius' confidence. And again, today, it was not the best performance by Vinicius. Again, this is not entirely his fault. He was playing kind of different formation that he's not used to. This formation doesn't necessarily suit our attacking players, especially Vinicius and Rodrigo. However, given we have no number 9, a proper striker, this is the ideal solution we have.
Certainly did. Jude Bellingham will claim the assist as well as the Real Madrid. Win by 3-1. Let's watch.
So as I said before, it was an easy game. As you can see, the number of shots on goal and the total number of shots are almost on par between Almeria and Real Madrid. So if you concede this many shots against Almeria, when you face a bigger team, a bigger opponent, what would be the outcome? So that's what we have to think about.
Welcome in, shall we, Luis Garcia. Where do we start? England's greatest ever player?
Already?
Not yet, but quite possibly there is a chance he might be one of the best English player ever. Maybe, at least for Real Madrid.
I think that is a brilliant start. We talked about him so much. We said how good he is, what is he wanna become, because it looks like his mentality is right where he has to be. His focus on improving, his focus on his ability, not only in defense or in midfield, but also in attack. We see in the second goal, arriving in the second line, that perfect run. He wasn't the first one. He's been doing that during the whole game, making it run and another run. Never gets tired, never gets frustrated. He knows that the chances are going to arrive. And what else can you ask to a player that just arrived, who is so young and scoring the first 2 games, 2 MVPs, and becoming probably the leader of this Real Madrid side?
So that's a good point by Luis Garcia. When a new player joins a new team, it's always difficult to find chemistry. But as of what we have seen for Jude Bellingham, he's playing as if he's been here for a long time. And he's showing why he cost 120 million. As of now, Real Madrid scored 5 goals in 2 matches, and 3 of them by Jude Bellingham. It's kind of making us to forget a need for a striker or centre forward by scoring goals.
I've got no one in the race here. Jude Bellingham is English, I'm Scottish. It's nothing to do with that. It doesn't matter where this player comes from. They have just...
So what Craig is trying to say, that there is no English bias, because a lot of people, whenever they think about Craig, they think he's English, but he's not, he's Scottish. So he's trying to say that he's Scottish, he's not English, just because he's trying to praise Jude Bellingham's performance. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's trying to be biased because of his nationality. They're not the same nationality.
A little special at the moment. 1, because of his age. 2, because of his experience for one so young. But a midfielder that's really going to, and we talked about this before, that's really going to give you everything. going to give you some defensive aspect, going to give you the physicality, and to start your Real Madrid career, 3 goals in 2 games, both away from home. Okay, not the most difficult games. Maybe Athletic Club on paper was a more difficult game on paper, but Almeria was actually a more difficult game when you look at the stats. Almost 19 efforts and goals, horrible pitch.
That's a good point to discuss about Almeria's performance. As we discussed already, we have shown you that the number of shots and the number of shots on target, that's kind of problematic for Real Madrid. When you have this diamond formation, in general, what we have seen in the friendly, even from the Bilbao match, it felt maybe this formation is ideal to be a little bit more defensive, that this formation doesn't give opponent much of the ball. But today, that wasn't the case. We have seen many times Almeria was causing problems. Now, for that, there are a lot of factors we can point out. For example, last match when we played this formation, Camavinga was playing. When you have younger players playing at midfield, even when they lose the ball, they have faster pace to turn around. They have much faster recovery. That's what I would say. So that's what makes a huge difference. Additionally, today, we have seen a little bit difference in terms of pressing. For example, against Bilbao, we were pressing really high. As a result, Bilbao was struggling. But today, we're a little bit more relaxed. Again, that's also understandable. You cannot play every match to the high intensity possible. Also, Craig also pointed out some solid points. For example, the weather was really hot. Also, the pitch is far from ideal. I understand it, but as a Real Madrid fan, we don't like to talk about those variables because those variables are also affecting our opponents, not just Real Madrid.
Clammy, steamy, hot conditions down there. And the second goal epitomised Bellingham for me, not so much the first, but as Luis said at half-time, right place, right time. That's not always luck. But the way that he spotted Kroos getting on the ball, he spotted the run, he got in between the defenders, and perfect ball from Toni Kroos. And you have to be brave in that scenario because as a midfielder, when you get in there, you're thinking, it's coming.
Right.
And some of these keepers, as you know, they're big bruisers and they're coming out and they're going to smash you. So he knows it's coming, but he's there, bang, and the keeper's a little bit late. So goals from midfield, clearly when you haven't got, and you're going to be missing the 30-odd goals from Karim Benzema, you need that from midfield. And this is the most perfect start. Going into Real Madrid, I never felt this boy was going to be phased. Never. Even if he had a couple of bad games to start with, I just thought he'll brush it off. Now that he started this way, what's this season going to hold from?
Listen, there's a reason why Real Madrid splashed so much money for him. Because they know that he has talent. That's why they bought him. So as usual, ESPN focus totally on Bellingham in their post-match analysis, not so much into our performance or overall match analysis. So let's delve into a little bit into match analysis. Let's talk about our current formation. As we discussed numerous times, this formation is not ideal for our attackers, especially Vinicius and Rodrigo. They both kind of looked a little bit lost. So what's the solution? Is it to, okay, let's keep going. Maybe they'll have better chemistry. They'll have better understanding of this formation because they aren't used to playing this formation. So that's a good point. That's a valid point that they might need more time to play this formation. At the same time, I think what we can do, okay, defensively, we can keep this formation. But when are we attacking? We can make it 4-3-3. For example, Tchouaméni is in the middle, Kroos or Camavinga on the left, and Bellingham just behind the striker. And Fede, instead of playing as a right midfielder, he can move as a right winger, as a transitionally. And Rodrigo in the center. And in the left, Vinicius can play his usual role. So by playing this way, I think we can utilize the best possible for this lineup. Other important points from today's match is that Fran Garcia improved his performance from last match. Also, Brahim impressed me a little bit today. He had got one good dribble, but he was also selfish. I think he should try to find Joselu rather than trying to shoot by himself. Anyway, for me, the biggest takeaway from today's match is 3 huge points. Also, let me know, what's your observation from today's performance?